Alright, here once again with another wonderful art video. Today's topic is going to be how to become a better graffiti artist for beginners. Now, if you haven't already, be sure to click the like and subscribe button. And if the comment section is disabled, leave a comment below on anything that you feel as if I missed or any questions or comments that you have in the comment section below. Now, first and foremost, the first thing that you want to remember when becoming a graffiti artist is to not focus so much on details. First and foremost, details are important, but if you overwhelm yourself and spend too much time thinking about is this detail good, is this detail bad, you're going to be focused too much on details, and that could be a bit overwhelming. As opposed to focusing on details, since you're a beginner, just be light on yourself and don't focus so much on details. The second thing that I would recommend is practicing lettering. Practicing lettering is very important. Now, there's a lot of things that fall under the category of lettering, such as proportions, for example, uniform lettering, as well as the center of the paper. Speaking more fluently on lettering, all right. Now, when you're doing lettering, you want to make sure that each letter is the exact same handwriting, the exact same font. You want to make sure that all the letters are the same exact size and the artwork is in the center of the paper. Do not make one form of artwork, for example, one letter capitalized and the next letter lowercase, or one letter huge and the next letter small. That wouldn't make any sense, and that definitely just wouldn't look right. In order to have a good form of artwork, especially when it comes to graffiti, you want the lettering to be in the center of the page, and you want to make sure that all of them are written in the same exact handwriting. This is very important in order to make the artwork look much better. If you use different fonts for each letter or for each word, this definitely wouldn't look right, and this will definitely cause confusion within the drawing and make it harder for people to actually read it or really be able to have a full understanding upon the artwork. Another thing that I would recommend is learning from other artists. Now, as an artist or just as a person in general, you always want to be open to learning because no one knows everything. It doesn't matter if you've been doing this for 30 years. It doesn't matter if this is your first day. No one knows everything. So always be open to learning. It doesn't matter if an artist was doing this for 30 years. They could learn something new from a beginner, and a beginner could learn something new from an expert. So always be open to learning, and remember, every expert that you see, every person that you see is an expert artist. They were once a beginner as well. So don't feel bad just because this is your first time starting off, or because you're starting off something new. Don't feel bad at all because every expert was once a beginner. You will not master anything that you haven't started, and you will not master anything that you haven't tried. So always keep that in mind. Another thing that I would definitely like to um, recommend within this video is practice and create your own style. Now, as a graffiti artist, you definitely want to be able to practice lettering and just small details to create your own style of artwork. The more original, the more better, as opposed to, feeding off of somebody else's style or looking at somebody else's artwork. Now, as a beginner, of course, it'll be wonderful to look at the artworks of others. I've done it before because it definitely helps to place some ideas in your head and help you to have a better understanding upon how to become a better graffiti artist. But you do not want to go out there copying word for word or letter for letter this person's style in order to avoid plagiarism, being sued by somebody else for stealing their artwork, and in order to have your own style of artwork. Because when you create your own style after you've finished practicing, then it'll be much better where you won't have to be concerned about anybody suing you or doing anything wrong to you. And last but not least, remember, if you would like to make this a career, you definitely have to master doing this on the paper before you actually go out there and become a muralist and go spray paint on walls. Otherwise, you will definitely like to start off with practice on art foam boards or like on poster boards, for example, like this. Start off on poster boards, spray painting, some Krylon paint or Rust-Oleum paint. Now, those spray paints are definitely very good. So, if you would like to start off as a spray paint artist, you can start out small, like on a poster board or a foam board, like this. This is a foam board. This is the board right here. That's a foam board. So those are definitely very good for starting off with as well when it comes to spray painting. Or you could even practice on papers, for example. Practice on papers, spray paint on there. But overall, you'll definitely like to start off practicing before you run and jump into becoming a muralist. If you would like to perfect this, first perfect it on poster boards, art foam boards, and on paper prior to actually jumping out there and saying, oh, I want to make this a career and become a muralist. Now, keep in mind, if you become a spray painting artist, like a normal graffiti artist, spray painting, it's definitely going to take a bit of a process to actually learn because painting is harder than drawing. With painting, you definitely have to be very careful when using spray paint. You have to wear a mask for, breathing properly. You don't want to get all those chemicals or anything into that breathing system because that could definitely mess up your respiratory system. So definitely be sure to make sure that you master it on paper first or on art boards before you actually jump out there to becoming a graffiti artist and becoming a muralist, like people that spray paint and paint on walls and inside of buildings and museums. Before you go there, make sure that you practice first. Now, I'll show you some of my graffiti artworks in order to show you what exactly am I referring to about each of the steps that I just spoke about. Alright, here's the art book. Let me show you my most recent one. Alright, so as you can see right here, this is my most recent one. Now, as I was referring to, make sure that all the letters are in the same uniform as well as the same size. Now, when I say uniform, I'm talking about the same font, the same handwriting. As you can see, all of these letters are in the same exact handwriting, same color, and perfect uniform. Now, this is very important, especially when you're doing graffiti, because you want to make sure that each letter looks the exact same way in the same handwriting. As you can see here, I've also interpreted shadowing and a gloss effect as well. These, how all the letters are slanted. This is proper uniform. And these are details that I didn't spend hours focusing on and basically overwhelmingly thinking about them. Now, it's okay to practice if you don't know anything about lettering. I've done practice as well before, so definitely practice and observe or watch other artists as they do their artworks because that can definitely help you to become a better artist. I'll show you this next one right here. I'll show you this next one right here. Now this, for example, is another one right here. Notice how all of the letters are in the same exact handwriting. They're centerized into the paper. There's outlining as well as proper shadowing. Now all of these are very important. Me as a graffiti artist, I always try to make sure each and every one of my artworks are completely different from the other. That's just my choice because I definitely like a good challenge. So None of my artworks are the same, and even if I was to show you 5 different artworks that I've completed, you wouldn't be able to tell that they were from the same person. Now, you can choose to have the same exact handwriting each and every time. Maybe that could be your style. Or you can think outside the box and step out of your comfort zone sometimes and try something new. For example, with this yellow drawing that I just showed you guys that says "Go Make History," I definitely wanted to try something new and step out of my comfort zone because I don't usually use yellow. I don't usually outline anything, but it's definitely good to step out of your comfort zone and try new things for once, as opposed to just focusing on the same exact handwriting. Now, this not only helps you to become a better artist, but it also helps you become more versatile, where you have several different styles and several different handwritings and fonts that you could use in order to become a more productive artist. Now I'll show another one, for example, something that was very simple. Yes, this one. This one was very simple, as you can see. Same, same lettering. Didn't focus so much on details. All of them have a slanted handwriting, perfect shadowing right here. So all of these details are definitely very important, but I didn't focus so much on the details that I didn't complete the artwork or that it didn't turn out correctly. So another one that I would like to show you guys, for example, is this one. This one definitely has a lot going on in there, as you can see with the outlining right here, the font, the magnifying underline right here. This is definitely 100% out the box. Now, when becoming a graffiti artist, you can use more than just spray paint. You can use different fonts. I've decided to practice on paper before actually taking it out there to become a muralist or practicing, on the walls or on the streets because I wanted to master doing this first, coming up with proper outlines, sketches before I actually go out there and try something different. And this is very important as well. Take everything step by step, one step at a time. You don't want to rush anything or just go into it and say, oh, I want to become a muralist. Nothing is an overnight process, so definitely keep that in mind. Alright, that'll be the ending of this video. Be sure to like and subscribe and keep a comment below if the comment section is disabled this time. And thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day and continue to perfect your craft.